for today's cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
Kid and I had started, and I think years ago we may have done a cup on this.
Uh-huh.
And it was this amazing little movie that actually did not do well at the box office. But I saw it years ago and still periodically watch it.
Mm-hmm. This is the first time that I'm seeing it, I think.
And it was...
Or that you're showing it to me, maybe?
Maybe. And it's called The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T.
Yeah.
And it was made in 1953. And I think I'm going to try to pull my stats up here because I went down a rabbit hole. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was release date was January the 1st of 1953. And like I said, it, for whatever reason, did not do well at the box office. I think it was just too ahead of its time.
Yeah. If it was released today, it would probably do well.
I don't know whether it would or not. Today, it's just... But anyhow, we'll get into that here in just a minute. And as we were watching this, we didn't finish all of it last night. I'm like, wow, the whole set, everything like that is very Seuss. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a good reason for it because it was Dr. Seuss. And it was the only screenplay that he did.
Really?
It was, because the rest of it was animation, what used to be called cartoons.
Well, they are cartoons.
And it didn't end up the way that he wanted it to. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. Because the set is that wonderful surrealistic style of Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
And what it is, it's about this little kid that he didn't want to play the piano. But his mother insisted that he play the piano. Mm-hmm. And Dr. T was Dr. Terwilliger. And he had a method for playing the piano.
A method. That didn't work for him.
The kid was miserable.
Yeah.
But he had that beanie with the little hand on it. And that was just...
blue cap with the yellow hand sticking up.
Yes. We need one of those. We really, really do. But the gentleman who played Dr. Terwilliger was Hans Conried. Just a brilliant actor. Mm-hmm. And especially a brilliant voice actor.
Yeah.
And I was telling Kid, I'm like, I can't remember. I know that I should know that voice. Well, hell yeah. I grew up with that voice in various and sundry performances.
And so did, us. We grew up on it, too.
Yeah. And there are so many, there used to be really, really good, distinct voice actors out there.
Yeah.
I think one of the best ones today is his name Tom Kenny? Is he the one that does SpongeBob?
Yes, but I've listened to some of the new stuff, and it's, oh, God love him.
Well, he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
He was one of the few that I have ever, that he could change the frequency of his voice to where you didn't always know that it was him.
Yeah.
Now, that is not true of, the gentleman that we're talking about Hans.
Yeah, no, that's just his voice.
It is his voice. And it was brilliant and everything, but it was very much distinctive, but it was always the same voice. Mm-hmm. He did the voice on Rocky and Bullwinkle as far as Snidely Whiplash.
Yeah, he did. And he played Captain Hook as in Peter Pan.
Yeah. Yeah, and even as far as he was the narrator for Dr. Seuss' Halloween is Grinch Night. Mm-hmm. Also for Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah.
He was just all over the page as far as a voice actor. And he did other things also. He was not unknown during his time. And it's sad that he is unknown now.
I don't know that he's unknown now, but rather than probably a bit obscure.
Well, and that was one of the rabbit holes that Kid and I had gone through, because the news cycle has been so horrific. And it was a matter of trying to do something a little bit lighter. that still has wonderful, our little paranormal spoopy element and stuff to it.
Yeah.
And that whimsical and that nonsense, you know. And so going back through Hollywood, how it used to be.
Yeah.
And just as far as snippets, you know, introducing Kid to Gene Kelly and his work, and Fred Astaire, and, you know, even Cab Calloway. Now, I'm one of these, I will randomly listen to Cab Calloway because he was the shit.
Yeah.
He's what an elegant, amazing human.
Tap dancing.
Yeah. There will never be another Cab Calloway.
Nope.
And even we were listening last night to Louis Armstrong. What a Wonderful World.
Yeah, and every single time I listen to that, it makes me cry.
Sure. Because it is a heartfelt song.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been 150 million people that have done that song. There was only one Louis Armstrong.
Yeah. None of the other people could get it right. Only
Right.
he could do it.
It was his.
Mm-hmm.
So, just going down, like I said, the rabbit holes in this little movie is just fun. And the color and the stage and stuff like that. And Kid was like, it was back when they actually had to make scenery. And I'm like, yep.
Yeah. That's when artistry was
Yes.
more used.
Yes.
Genuine artistry.
And I don't know why Seuss was unhappy with the final product, because I thought it was very effective.
Probably the editors.
I don't even know that it was that, because I don't know what he was looking for, if he was looking for something like Wizard of Oz, but that's a totally different story. And with the minimalist, surrealist backdrops and architecture that is peculiar to Dr. Seuss's style,
Yeah.
you also had the characters that had, in their costuming and different things like that, color.
Yeah.
And when you've got that monochromatic backdrop, and that color just pops.
Yeah, it really does. It seems a lot more vibrant.
It does.
than the shit even that we have now. Even though it's filled with color, it just seems dulled.
Right.
But that other color just does not. It stays true.
Well, within the storyline, Kid was dreaming. And so when you had the usage of the color in the costumes and different things like that, different props, it had that dreamlike quality to it.
Yeah, it did.
And
Surrealism.
it was, which I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of surrealism. It was one of my main things in art. But just that amazing innocence. You had these incredible talent. There was no smut. There was nothing. Any age from 8 months to 800 could have watched and enjoyed this movie. You didn't have to be embarrassed that you were watching something like this.
They were expected to hold themselves to a certain standard. And to have some respect.
Right. It was a
And-
time of decency.
And that was also the time when people had to have genuine talent to make it in that industry. And if you were not at the top of your game, you got axed a lot of the time.
Right. Right. It was a fight to the top and different things like that, because once you were established, then you could get work within different things. And as far as the history of Hollywood and the corruption and this and that and the other, I get it. I do. But during that period of time, the product that was released to the public, they actually had a board that they were censors.
Yeah.
That if something was too risque, it didn't make it to the screen.
Yeah. Parts of the 60s changed that.
Yeah.
And 70s really took it to a turn.
Yep. And language and visuals and stuff like that used to be, when I was growing up, was X-rated.
Yeah.
And that they've got that on the damn YouTube advertisements now.
But then again, when was Return of the Living Dead? That was like 1985.
Return of the Living Dead?
Yeah, Return of the Living Dead.
You asked me this. It's like
That had full frontal nudity in it.
Well,
She was a zombie, so it was acceptable, but at the same time, she got killed that way. So
I was trying to think.
I don't know what the rating was on that. I don't know if that's like when it just got switched to R, or if that one was X.
85 is Return of the Living Dead. There had been, frontal nudity way before that.
Yeah.
And that was rated R is what it says.
Right. And you were saying like stuff used to be rated X.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like I had heard somebody that was a political/sociological commentator not that long ago that they were talking about as far as women, and when there's no mystery, no mystique left, anything like that, what else have you got?
Right. You don't really got much to the imagination on that. That's what you got.
Right. And it's just like the lady who played the mom on this, very elegant looking woman. I was trying to see if I could find what her name was. Mary Healy was her name. Just like I said, she was a very elegant looking woman.
Mm-hmm.
She sang beautifully. Did a good job in her character.
Yep.
The guys that played the brutes, they were great. Even as far as having the 5 o'clock shadow and everything like that.
But even during that time, you had Eartha Kitt, and not Eartha Kitt was.
Well, she wasn't in this movie.
No, but I'm saying during that time,
right?
Like that goes back to like sort of Hollywood.
Oh well, you had a lot of different
Hollywood
things
stars
that were.
She was one of the ones that really stood out and was unique.
Oh, her voice. There was nobody else. She was and will always be Catwoman.
Yeah. But during that time, that's when you had like unique people that had genuine talent that were good at what they did.
Mm-hmm. And can we have a return to that?
We need a return of that. I think people are desperate almost for that. Because the shit that we got...
Evil always overplays its hand. It really does. And it's like there can be and there is a bottom to depravity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's it going to take to turn it around? Well, when everybody's showing everything, the thing to do to be counterculture is to cover things up.
Yep.
Do the exact opposite.
Be as modest as you can. Do what John McClane did, which is just literally have just black upon black scarf, big black hat with a veil.
Yeah.
Sunglasses.
No
very, piece of skin
very
shown.
Stylish, unusual individual.
Mm-hmm. I've not watched him
I haven't watched him either.
Probably over a year or more.
He is very. He'll sit there and go, "Yes, he is very much a man, and he's a cross-dresser."
Yeah.
And he's a makeup artist, and damn, he's brilliant at what he does.
But his really does reel back to like old Hollywood, where it was just that simple beauty, just
right, elegance, classy,
enhancing their features rather than covering it up with basically clown makeup almost.
Oh, that's what they're and people on the streets.
Don't get me wrong. Now sometimes it is a look. That stuff does look good. Not on everyone.
It looks good on camera, and that's the thing in today. Everybody is trying to be camera ready at all times.
Right. And it's like...
And it's an illusion.
It is.
It's a total illusion.
I don't know. Are they wanting to be on something like Big Brother?
I think that they feel like they are on that. That even if they're not making a video, then somebody else, they may end up being, appearing in somebody else's video. I think that you should, if you're out in public videoing whatever it is and you have not had somebody sign something, if somebody is going to video me and put it on the internet, I want to either give or not give my permission.
Yeah, well, that's when certain states have different laws for that. So,
but going back to this little movie, and we will leave the link. You can watch it for free on YouTube.
We've still not finished it this time, but we're gonna watch it
Oh
tonight.
yeah, I was just I went down there the rabbit holes.
Yeah.
But that was the main thing, to give ourselves a brain break and go back to those wonderful. There's so many movies that I grew up watching that kid may not. I think a lot of them I shared with him, but not all of them.
Well, there's also stuff that I grew up on that I would really like to rewatch, like Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins was great. Dick
It
Van
was.
Dyke was another one. What a talent.
Truly. Like, for real. And some Disney movies as well I would like to go back and rewatch.
Yeah, early Disney, because
Yeah.
boy, they have really bit the hand that fed them.
Like the original Little Mermaid. I want
Yeah.
to watch 101 Dalmatians at some point.
Well, it's just like the movie Fantasia, because
I wanna
those cells were hand drawn. It took
And
them
painted.
years
Yeah.
and years and years.
It was a labor of love.
And there's not been anything else like it.
That's
It's just incredible.
That's the only true perfect animation right there.
Yeah. That was back when it was good. It wasn't just cyber and AI and, everybody's like, oh, well, this is coming. It's here. This is the new. If you know somebody that's an artist, I don't give a shit. Whether or not they think that they don't have an outlet anymore, there will always be a need for art. There will always be a need for creativity, for thinking outside the box. Who is going to be our next Dr. Seuss?
Right.
Who's going to be our next Shel Silverstein?
Right.
That can capture that childlike innocence and spirit without any of this smut that has been slammed in people's faces for years. People are fed up with it.
Yeah. They are. They're tired of it. It's just, at a certain point, you do become numb to it.
Right.
And then fed up.
It's just, people are over it. They're
Yeah.
just, you're right. They are emotionally numb to it. And I keep going back. And something that we do need, it's been several years since I watched it, was the Russian film, I Am Dragon.
Yeah.
Now, they
That was
do still have, as far as censors, that's like, yes, this is decent. You can show this. You can. I don't have a problem with that. It's a good movie. It's beautifully done.
It is. It is really, really beautiful.
The story is great. It's something that I can sit and watch with kid. I don't have to worry about being embarrassed over anything that, These actors, they don't have to be embarrassed about anything that they did or didn't do in the movie.
Right. And that's like stuff on Tubi. It was like...
Oh, Tubi's great. I like Tubi.
Yeah, but sometimes Nana's trying to watch shows. And so it's just like first thing sexing.
On Tubi?
Sometimes, yes. I've tried to watch stuff on Tubi and the first thing was just like...
It had to be some of the
graphic shit, and I
newer...
was like, I'm
was
done.
it ads or was it recent shows on Tubi? Because Tubi...
It wasn't ads. It was shows. Like...
See, Tubi, I think, that's where I used to watch Columbo.
That was like we were going to watch a movie and the first thing was a sex scene on that.
That's
not right.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's like we need to have some sort of modesty at this point. Some sort of like censored shit again.
Just like I said, a return to decency.
Yeah. Yeah, a return to decency.
Yeah. And you can start by watching the
Prudence.
5,000 Fingers of Dr. T.
Yeah.
That he had this dream of these 500 small children's
At this,
practicing the piano 24/7.
the piano would just...
It was endless.
It was endless, but it would curve.
Yes.
And all that. It's...
Well,
looked like a nightmare piano.
Well, it was, and that was one of the things about Dr. Seuss, very much organic shapes and forms and stuff like that, and that was part of the whimsy and the surrealistic style that he used. So, final thoughts on this one, kid, before we watch the movie?
I like the aesthetic.
I like the aesthetic, too. I like the decency.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lots of good stuff. And go back. You do not have to partake in this insanity that's going on. There were years of really good stuff before all this stupid hit.
Yep.
Let me tell you, your dollars speak loudly. Even when you're watching online or something like that, when you go and you watch some of these older movies, give it a thumbs up, make a comment, sit there and go, I wish we had movies like this today. You never know. Like I said, it's poking the cyber Satan in the eye.
It is. It is.
So that'd be your final thoughts. If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, if you would like to share with us some of your favorite classic, decent, movies, different things like that, please put that in the comment section. And like I said, I will leave the link for where you can go to the UFTube and watch this movie. Yeah. Was it life-changing and life-altering? No, why did it need to be? It's just a damn good little movie.
Yeah. It's a cute movie.
Yeah.
If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, most of all subscribe, and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Even though it doesn't do much, it likes the affection, though. Give it the affection. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah. Have a good.
Know that you're loved. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.